Welcome to the Accessibility Guide channel. My name is Sean Jordison, and today we're doing episode 21 of how to make college PDFs accessible. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Cabrillo College, and this episode is brought to you by Venngage. And with that said, let's jump right in. The first thing I'm going to do is search the cabrillo.edu website for any PDF files. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I probably spent about 10 minutes before I hit record trying to find a single file and I couldn't find any. I finally looked on Google and was able to find some files. And let's go ahead and download this file called Essential Standards. This opens up in a browser, and let's go ahead and download the file into PDF. Now that we have this file downloaded, step one is to open up the tags panel, and let's determine if there are any tags in this document. And it does appear that there are tags in this document, but it's not really done very well. We just have a bunch of P tags. This usually indicates that it came over from Microsoft Word. So the first step we're gonna do to make this accessible is we're gonna select the Prepare for Accessibility button, and then we're gonna choose Automatically Tag PDF. This is going to run the cloud-based API and apply a tag structure to the file. And I love that it put everything inside of a document tag. We then have a figure element for Cabrillo College. Let's go ahead and right-click that figure tag, select Properties, and let's give it some alt text. This is gonna be Cabrillo College logo, and then select close. We then have an H1 on the page, which is Radiologic Technology Program Essential Standards, Physical and Non-Physical Standards. That's amazing. We have a P tag, an H2 tag. Wow, the auto tagger on this was just a slam dunk. H2 list, H2 paragraph list item with properly nested list items. Wow. And check it out, we're already on to the final page. H2, and then we have a list item, and then we have some form fields that we need to make accessible. But out the gate, the auto tagger on this is just ridiculous. Let's go ahead and make this form accessible next. We're gonna select the All Tools button again a couple of times, and let's go down to prepare a form. Then I'm going to choose an option to create this form, and we're gonna select create form. It's gonna force us to save the file, which we'll do now, and it automatically put in these form fields into our document. This is a great first start. Now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go into my tags panel underneath this H2 tag, and let's right click, create a new tag, and this is gonna be forms placeholder. And we're gonna select enter. Then we're gonna select the forms placeholder. Let's get out of the forms box. Now we have to go back into tags, select forms placeholder. We're gonna select the options button in the top right corner and select find, and let's do unmarked annotations. And we wanna search this page. It's gonna look for every form field on this page. We're gonna select find, tag, 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 and tag. That puts all of these form fields into a nice location that we can then move them to the proper spots. So in this example, we have the text, I will verify that. And what we need to do is actually break this up a little bit. So I'm going to my All Tools, Prepare for Accessibility, and Fix Reading Order. And what I need to do is actually get some of this stuff out of here. And I'm gonna start with this underline. I'm gonna select that underline and mark it as text paragraph. And then we're gonna choose this RT student name, mark it as text paragraph. Then we're gonna take the next line and text paragraph it. Now I think these lines are coming through in the other areas too. So I'm gonna carefully select them using my mouse to try to get them out of the document. Now it looked like it may be just healthcare professional. All right, so what kind of damage did I do? We've got H2, forms placeholder, I verify that, and then we have this blank line at the bottom. Let's get rid of that. We're gonna right click it, select change tag to artifact, and select OK. Then we can delete that P tag, and we have this list item, that's fine. We've got healthcare provider actually separated here. We've got a path tag, we can right click, change to artifact, and select OK. By the way, this video is not sped up at all. I just talk really fast. Let's keep going here. Perfect, so we have all of our placeholders and our text. So this text that is kind of out of whack, I'm going to put them all under the same P tag, and then I'm actually gonna move this nested P tag directly inside, and we're gonna change it to a form parent, because this is where we're going to add our form placeholder for that segment that is splitting the P tag. So now I have this paragraph tag all intact with my form field inside of it. So now I need to do the rest of this. We've got span tag, basically all these other fields at the bottom that have this text in them, we need to put in a parent form tag. So I'm gonna right click date, select new tag, and type the word form. And then we can right click print name, new tag, form, right click, new tag, form, right click, new tag, form. And then all the way down on the bottom, we'll right click, new tag, and form. And now we need to move these areas to the right location. Let's take our address one, and we're gonna make it a child to the parent form element. We've got date. We will drag down and make it a child to its parent form. Healthcare provider signature. That is that first one. I think I actually forgot to make a form parent tag in here. And so we'll just nest that right in there. Let's see, we got telephone number. I kind of did it out of order, but it still works as long as you're paying attention. Office agency name, and then print name. So now we've put all the form fields in the right location, and I'm just following the accessibility guy method for making forms and my document accessible. Now what we can do is let's go back to our prepare a form option, and I want to update the tooltip. So I'm going to right click this first object on the far right side, select properties, and let's see, what is it actually asking? I verify that, student name. And we'll select close. We've got healthcare provider signature. That's fine. We've got date. Now all of these are gonna have the default alt text in there, or excuse me, the default tooltip. That's fine. Print name, office agency, and telephone number. So this is totally accessible now. All right, let's shout out our sponsor of today's episode, Venngage. Venngage is an accessible graphic design platform designed to help users create accessible content like infographics, forms, flyers, course content, and pretty much everything else in between. Once exported from the platform, these documents basically require zero additional effort. The best way to think of Venngage is an accessible alternative to Canva. I use it myself for my own document creation needs, and I would strongly recommend it for anyone looking to improve the accessibility of their design. If you want to check out a free trial to Venngage, check out the link in the description of this video. And if you're not interested in a trial, there's also a link to check out the product in use. And in the comments section, I'd love to know if you tried out Venngage and what you think. Now back to the video. Let's go ahead and save the file. And we are going to update the metadata by selecting the menu button, document properties, and this is titled page 1 of 4, but this is actually essential standards, physical and non-physical. I can't spell PHYSICAL standards. And the author is the accessibility guy. That's me. And the subject is essential standards. And the keywords could be Cabrillo. I would recommend adding a little more in there, but this will work for now. Let's select OK. Let's save the file. And now we can do our first of a couple accessibility checks. Let's select the Prepare for Accessibility button and then check for accessibility. And then we're going to select Start Checking. And we have a passing document. Let's go ahead and launch the PAC 2024 tool. And I have my file. We're going to just drag this right on over to test it. And it's failing a couple of areas under WCAG. Let's go ahead and look that up. We've got info and relationships. What do we got? Font embedding. Okay, we need to embed our fonts. And something with parsing. Possible inappropriate use of a figure structure element. All right, let's do one at a time. Let's embed our fonts. We're gonna go to print production, select pre-flight. I don't know where my pre-flight menu is. There it is, strange. And then we're gonna look for font, and we want to embed missing fonts and select analyze and fix. We need to resave the file one more time, and it found our 3 objects, perfect. Now let's go back to our tags button and figure out what's the deal with this figure tag. So it said possible inappropriate use. Let's right click the tag and select properties, and let's select edit tag, and let's expand it a little bit. And let's see, I think our placement is not set. Let's go ahead and select the A dictionary and select new item. And we're gonna say placement equals block. And the value type, does it need to be string? I don't remember. We'll just try name. Let's go ahead and try this. Select OK, select close. Let's save our file. It's possible I just messed something up doing that, but I guess we'll find out in just a moment, won't we? And let's test the file one more time. Oh, okay, we're almost there, but I messed something up for sure. Span structure. Oh, interesting. Now it's saying possible inappropriate use of a span tag. Okay, so this is on page 1. So I don't know why this happens. This has been happening a lot lately. I'm going to hold my control key, select both of those content elements, and we're just gonna drag them to get rid of the span tags. And then it was also on the last page. I don't know why this has been coming up. It's so strange to me. We're gonna take both of those elements, make them child containers, and delete their parent span tags. Select save. Let's launch the PAC tool again, and let's drop this file in there. And now we have a passing WCAG report. So Cabrillo College actually has done a fantastic job. I had a hard time finding any documents on their website. And the document that they did have wasn't completely terrible. It just didn't carry the formatting over from Microsoft Word. And this could happen for a variety of ways. So I'm gonna give this the accessibility guy score of a 4 out of 10. I think there's a lot of room that they can improve. And if you wanna find out how I can help you get accessible, whether it's me doing your documents for you, joining my community where we have self-paced courses, or figuring out how I might help your organization get accessible, take a look in the link in the description of this video. And as always, I could be your champion for inclusion. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.